So we're both very upset with Bath & Body Works. We ordered a candle from them that has a nice marble little decal around the outside, and it's one that we really wanted.
We literally bought it for the outside of it.
It costs like $1 more than the other ones, and wow, this one decided it wants to burn that decal
It
off.
melted.
Like, I don't know how that happened. It's on the outside. How did it happen? The flames were not, like, licking around the edge.
Lick this, Craig. I'm Rachel.
Wow.
I'm a mess.
I'm Lick, okay?
And this is Licking with Rachel.
Oh, shit.
Look, I got really bad cramps right now. I just made my Diva
It's that
Cup
kind of
stew.
podcast.
And I'm not all the way here in this moment. So hello.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm pretty shitty, honestly. So, I'm just going to launch right in and say I don't even know what coffee I'm drinking right now.
We have gone back to Ye Olde Trader Joe.
Whoa.
The breakfast organic fair trade something or other.
We
like
really
that.
need to branch out. And also help us branch out by sending us a coffee to our P.O. Box. Link is on our website.
Oh, already shooting out the links.
I'll shoot everything right now, especially my uterus. You know, listen, every vegan told me that it would be better, and it's like a hair better.
A hair.
Just a hairline fracture, if you will. Anyway, so we don't have a coffee fact today, but I have a coffee inquiry.
Coffee.
Okay? This is the things that keep me up at night, essentially.
God damn.
That should be a segment of the show.
Oh my god, that would actually be a fantastic segment.
Let us know in the comments below. Just kidding, there are none.
Where are the comments?
You SoundCloud binge. I see you. Anyway, so my question is, what constitutes a coffee? And the reason I ask is because you know how Starbucks was like, LOL, we have a brand new drink. We took that berry that we usually throw away and made it into a coffee.
Yeah.
So I want to know what constitutes a coffee. Is it just the act of pouring hot water over something that has been dried? Is that a tea?
No.
How do you make a tea?
I think tea is leaves. Duh.
But
tea
it's
leaves.
also dried fruits in some cases and vanilla pods and like all kinds of...
I think that latte was espresso beans, but then they also like added in the cherry part of the bean, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I think coffee is defined as, in Webster's dictionary,
Look it up, bitch. I want to know.
Hot water that is steeped through, brewed through a coffee bean.
Now, what about if I used, say, a lentil? Is that just making lentils?
That's just making, like,
but what about a regular
lentil-flavored water?
I want to know if I grind up dried black beans, the very ones that we have in our cabinet in my home.
Yes.
Would that make black bean coffee? Bluff.
I would not consider it coffee.
What would you consider it?
It would be warm black bean water.
Yum. You don't know. That could be fucking good. You have no idea.
I'm gonna take a hard pass on that one.
Listen, that's one of
our... I mean, how many beans did our forefathers have to go through before they found the coffee bean?
Enough to make a 3-bean salad.
Get out of here. Did they
Have you ever even had a 3-bean salad? We're covering all the hot topics today, folks.
Did they try doing this with a kidney bean or a black bean before they got to the coffee bean?
A black-eyed pea. That's a bean.
Yeah, it is.
A fava.
Not just a band.
I love beans. We should have just like one episode where I try to name as many as I can until I die.
I'm here for the beans.
Spoiler, it's like 4. But anyway, so that was my question. If any of you coffee experts out there that I know are listening to this podcast, please let us know if you know the answer to that.
Yeah, and now is the moment in time where we'd like to say that we predicted the future.
Oh, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, but also, wow, I can see things now. I can see the future.
Are you a seer?
Yeah.
Is your third eye open?
Ooh, shit, shockers.
Third O'Reilly eye.
Ew.
I don't know. Anyway, Bill O'Reilly has a fucking podcast, and we said it here first, bitch.
I mean, who is shocked? That, like,
I was saying web series or podcast.
Out of all of the predictions to make, we picked an easy one.
Yeah,
like,
true.
That was not...
that man will never fuck off. Like, he will never shut up. He's gonna be there.
He's gonna be on his deathbed, and he's gonna be doing a podcast show.
I don't want to listen. I don't encourage anyone to listen. All I saw was he was just like, I was pretty surprised that I got kicked off TV. It's like, what?
Were you, though?
Were you? I guess.
Where was the shock?
I'm upset. But, he lives to pod another day, and...
That's upsetting.
It sucks.
Speaking of things that are upsetting...
He should just make, like, a true crime podcast, you know?
Oh, shit.
Maybe not, though. No podcast. But if you're gonna do one, just do one of those, like, I don't know, ASMR podcasts.
I don't want to listen to anything he does.
Yeah. Ugh. Bill O'Reilly and ASMR do not go in the same sentence.
Speaking of things that are upsetting, you had another update
on
Jack.
I tweeted it.
Yeah.
I got a text. I was like in the middle of working, and I sometimes like send myself photos so that I can post them on our Instagram. And all of a sudden, I got like 6 pictures of different Maseratis, and it was like, here's the latest like Ghiblis. Like, what is it?
Ghiblis?
What is it? It was like,
the Maserati Ghibli. That's my favorite.
What's it called? It's
I don't know.
Ghibli. Like, who is it? Like, I don't know. That's what they told me. I was like, that sounds like a Pokemon, but cool. And I was like, this is not Jack. Please stop.
Did they reply back?
No, they didn't.
I mean, you told them not to, so...
Good. You guys should see my blocked phone number list. It was literally like 1 before, and now it's like 30,000. I even get calls from the UK. Jack was a man of the world. Like, I don't understand, but I also, like...
Maybe you should have, like...
Maybe he's my doppelganger.
You should have been, like... Don Draper in Mad Men.
Oh
You
my
should
God,
have taken on his identity.
I am. I'm going to be him now. I don't know what his last name is. I forget. But that's it. Goodbye, Dick Whitman. Hello, Ruble Jack. I don't know.
Ruble Jack.
Someone on Twitter said, I think it was Lukey, he was like, Jack Maserati sounds like the cousin to Monterey Jack. Oh. It's honestly not wrong. And Jack of all trades. There are so many Jacks, and they just need to get off this iceberg, okay?
I could have been named Jack.
Yo, why weren't you? Why didn't your dad do that to you?
I don't know. My dad...
For reference, Chris's dad's name is Jack.
And my grandpa and my great-grandpa, they're all Jacks.
Wait, really? Have we discussed this?
We might have.
I just always forget that because I have, like, the Steves, and we've already talked about it. My grandpa named 2 of his sons Steve. Who does that? There's so many names. Like, can you imagine if, like, we named Lila just Squeezy again? I mean, I know Squeezy's kind of, like, that's got a fleur of elegance, you know?
Yeah, I don't know why. That would be very confusing in life. I hope they have like, different middle names.
Fuck, they did, but, like... That's just, what are you doing? You can't name your kid after you twice. That's so narcissistic, wouldn't you say?
I would agree with that.
You're, like, really trying to keep that name alive, and you think, it's just a battle of the Darwinism. It's
you got 2 chances of it keep going if you name 2 kids the same.
Yeah.
So, I guess that was his thought.
Literally, ironically, though, one of them did pass away, at a young age.
Sorry.
So that's kind of fucked up if you think about it.
Wow.
I just unlocked that. Like, I didn't even think about that before.
Was he a seer?
I don't know. Yo, that would have made sense. Okay, there's a lot happening right now in my family tree.
There's a lot of things.
But anyway, let's get out of the bush and let's talk about the hot topics.
Let's talk about fucking Bill Nye. A bill that I can get behind.
Oh, good call. He made a show on Netflix.
Bill Nye Saves the World.
Yeah.
Which we're watching through that now, and they also have...
The regular old show.
We're going to watch that, and then we're also going to watch Magic School Bus.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about more Netflix things that we're going to watch later, because there's an update on all that shit. But anyway, so Bill Nye Saves the World.
I feel like if we're going to watch the regular Bill Nye, we need to, like, wheel in a TV in order for it to be, like, the most authentic. Like, nothing gets you more wet than the sound of that TV rolling in, the lights dimming, you know it.
You need to watch it on a TV that is deeper than it is, like, the screen is wide.
Wow, true. I want a thick TV, VHS, the wheels... DVR, TiVo. Wait, question.
We need to get...
Before we dive into Bill Nye.
We need to get desks in here that are like the school desks.
The ones where I sweat and my ass is sticking to it? Good.
Exactly.
Good call.
Vibe.
Also the ones that lift up that scare me?
Ooh.
Snatched. Yeah. They'll grab your little fingers.
Anyway.
But I want to know... I had a question about Bill Nye, and then it just fucking left once we started talking about the different school desks, you know?
Well, then, maybe it'll come back to us later.
It never does.
So he had a wide variety of topics. Like we said, we're not done yet.
We started in order, and we watched the first one, which was about climate change, and we were, like, both kind of just frustrated that he didn't mention agriculture and, like, the food and dairy industry at all.
Yeah, so that put me in a bad mood watching that one because, like, he's one of the, like, leading voices on the internet and stuff about climate change, along with like Al Gore and
Leo.
He's
here.
Like literally though, he's
Mark Ruffalo. He hates fracking.
Yeah,
don't even get him started.
They're all like prominent figures in like the climate change discussion, but like people need to talk about.
Is Mark Ruffalo? I know Leo's a vegan. But Mark Ruffalo, I mean, he basically played a vegan in The Kids Are Alright.
I know he's definitely, like, retweeted a bunch of stuff about, like, the meat industry and stuff.
Not that you have to be vegan to be a climate change scientist, but I just feel like you need to talk about the impact of like, farming.
It's the biggest contributor.
Like, so not to mention the land it takes up, the water, the energy, the methane. Like, there's so many factors.
So I was just very upset because, it's near and dear to my heart.
But he won me the fuck over.
Yeah, everything after that was fantastic.
The homeopathy episode was so savage, dragged everything.
Honestly, that's my favorite part about the whole series so far is that he drags everybody.
Anti-vaxxers, gone. Dragged them to
He did drag,
filth.
like, the American government for climate change stuff, so, like, I was happy that he did that.
Dragged creationism. Like, just so many options.
Yeah.
So many options. Defined bisexuality, the way that the bi community actually defines it, and the way that bi organizations tell LGBTQ plus organizations to define it.
Oh, man, that sexual... What was it, like, sexual...
He did identity, sexual identity.
Like, that was the name of the episode or whatever. That was, like, the most thorough discussion I've ever seen in what I consider to be primetime TV.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone ever say, like, cisgender on TV.
Like, he had the four different types, the four different spectrums: gender, sex,
sexuality, and identity.
Yeah.
I don't know. And he talked about, like, the way that you present yourself. He talked to the fact that there's, more biological sex is, like, limiting, and that there's more than just two genders and, how it's, like, sexes.
The chromosome things, how it's not always just XX and XY, all that
pretty
shit.
Damn good.
He also was just like, hey, this doesn't affect you, so, like, if you're offended by this, like, so why do you care? Like,
yeah, it was pretty flawless. I loved in the homeopathy episode where they had what's-his-face come out and drag all the people that randomly have, like, Buddhas, like, in their shop selling incense, and, like, how that has nothing to do with, like, sound therapy and things like that.
And just
like,
different alternate medicines? Is that
alternative.
Alternative.
Because, like, okay, like, I don't know where I stand on that, you know what I mean? Like, some of it I definitely think is bullshit and for marketing and to make money, and they exploit people with real problems. Absolutely. That happens all the time. A lot of vitamins fucking do that shit, like, essential oil companies, like, all of that. Like, I don't think it's necessarily, like, something that I think is all bullshit, though. I know that some people have been helped by certain things, but I loved that they dove into, like, the placebo effect so much, because it's so true. Like,
my thoughts on it is that could some of the things that we are currently labeling as alternative medicines actually be legitimate medicines and just need to be, like, tested,
labeled as such,
like, tested rigorously? Yes, absolutely.
A lot of plant things I agree with. Because that's how medicine has been made before.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
They absolutely could be that way. I personally just do not want to partake in anything that has not been tested in the double-blind study.
I mean, once you get into spirituality, that's a whole different thing. Because there's homeopathy in, like, where you're using, like, an actual, like, herb or plant that has been, proven, blah, 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 blah. I would like to see more research and science on it. But, like, marijuana is, like, the same way. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
they literally just can't study it because it's, like, hey,
federal laws are keeping them from studying it. But, like, that's obviously, and there's some other psychedelics now that are being tested for PTSD, for, like, severe cases. So, like, I know that shit exists. But I'm talking about, like, the stuff that's more spiritual. Like, you can't really put basis in that. It's like how science isn't gonna, like, prove your religion as well. You know what I mean? Like, there's no basis there. So it's like, if you, like, here's my thoughts. Like, if you believe that, like, the crystal stuff works, or the essential oils work, or meditation, any of that. Like, if you think that that's working for you and you're, like, getting, like, a positive... I don't know, like any sort of positive response from doing that, if it's making you more productive, if it's making you more relaxed.
Whether it's placebo or not.
Yeah, like if it's just placebo because you want it to work and so you think you're doing something good for yourself and it works. Like sometimes if I have a headache, I'm like, I probably just need water. And I'll drink it, and like I bet half of it's like a placebo effect, and half of it is me actually needing water. You know what I mean? Because it goes away pretty quickly. I'm like, oh, I'm working. It's working.
Yeah, so, like, in that realm, like, as long as it's not something that is, like, detrimental to anybody else, and you're not trying
to, like... taking supplements and you don't know what the fuck you're taking. And like...
trying to, like, force people into something, like, you can be like, hey, this worked for me, I'm just telling you about it, because this is what's working for me, but... As a whole, like, I don't have a... like.
Everybody's so different. Like, something that works for someone... Everybody swears by Tiger Balm, okay?
Yeah.
And that is, like... It's something that didn't work for me, but, like, I don't, like, discredit the people that did say it worked for them to get rid of headaches. It's like an ointment.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure it did work for some people, you know? Maybe I just have stronger headaches. You don't fucking know, you know?
Every fucking human body is
different. It's the people that are like, here... Come here and let me blow on your stomach, and now you don't need to go on medication anymore for mental health or likewise any other, like, I don't know. I don't trust anyone that's trying to get you off your medication. You know, it's cool to see all circles, you know, you're talking to your doctor, get a second, third opinion, maybe see somebody that's in alternative medicine that has really great, like, reviews and rewards or whatever. Mm-hmm. But, like, I don't know. I just, like, some of it is more of, like, a trend, I feel. And it's just the way that I feel about religion. Like, if you find something that, like, works for you and gives you, like, a sense of, you know, comfort or whatever, then, like, that's cool if it's not hurting your body or anybody else, you know? Exactly. I just don't know if it's something that is something that I am interested in because, I don't know. I haven't found that it is something that I'm interested in, and I don't know what to say, honestly.
That's where I really like the vaccine one you mentioned it before,
yes.
Where he was like literally just dragging, because that is something that
has
affects,
been proven,
and it does affect other people outside of you.
Yeah.
So that's where it's really fucked up, and like you need to get vaccinated
because there are people that literally cannot be vaccinated, and so those people are at risk when you're a fucking privileged person, and you're just because someone shared some stupid bullshit fake news story on Facebook and you saw it and you didn't vaccinate your whole family, and then these people that can't get vaccinations for whatever reason and condition they already have, like, they're at risk, and that's fucked up. And also, like, really young kids that haven't, like, had their chance yet to get it done. I don't know what ages you do that shit.
His explanation of what a vaccine is was very thorough, and it can sound very scary if you have somebody who's trying to make it sound scary explain it to you. Like, it's literally like you take the virus, you take the bad parts of it out, then you kind of just have the husk of the virus. And
it was the same premise as that one Jimmy Neutron episode.
And you inject it into you, and then, hey, your body recognizes it but can fight it, and you don't have the bad
it's just
stuff.
People believed that bullshit study that was actually proven to be fake where it links you to autism.
Yeah.
And people have such a fear of autism, which is absolute ignorance and bullshit.
So it's
just fear-mongering.
They're willing to take one study that fits their idea against hundreds of others
but
that
it was
say...
fake. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah, I know.
And people still believe it. Fucking what's-her-face? Jenny McCarthy or whatever.
They called her straight out in that episode. Like,
it was pretty great.
Overall, it's a fantastic show. We're definitely watching more later because I want to finish it up.
Yeah, we're almost done. But, like, oh, man. Also, like... Basically, they were trying to prove there's different theories about how, you know, Earth came to be and how life came to be on Earth. And he drags creationism, but then he also talks about how, like, Mars might have played a key role in that. And, like, how we kind of, like, took the life from Mars, essentially. Like, it came over. And it
was like an asteroid hit Mars, then a piece of Mars, like, flew over and hit Earth. And that's what, like, the whole big fucking rock was that started life.
Like, Mars got us pregnant. Oh. Like, that's all you need to know about it. So, yeah. And they did, like, stuff about AI, which I think is so interesting. I would love to do an entire episode about, like, AI and how I feel like we're going places.
Oh, my God. Well, I mean, we did get asked kind of a topic question thing. We can bring it up now since it relates.
Okay.
About what our thoughts are on there's a new flying car, which I'll explain. And our thoughts on what our sci-fi future
is going to be, like. Our predictions.
Yeah. So, I mean, that the car is like there's this Silicon Valley tech startup. Wow.
TM.
Called Kitty Hawk Creative, who is building a flying car. It's like backed by one of the Google founders and stuff, and they like unveiled like their prototype or like something that they were working on. It looks literally like just a giant drone that you sit on top of.
It looks like a flying ATV.
Exactly.
Or a mosquito.
So to call it a car is a stretch.
I thought you were going to be like in a house, like Jessen style.
I thought it was going to be like literally like
he's like outside.
We got a car here. It looks like a car, except somehow there's propellers somewhere and it lifts you up.
Like, I don't think we're going to be seeing any, like, Chevy Tahoe. That was
the first car you could think of.
Flying around these parts anytime soon.
Yeah, no.
But it looked interesting. He got, like, 20 feet above the ground, I would say.
Yeah, it was, like, above some lake in San Francisco.
That's a risk.
I don't know.
That I'm willing to take.
Oh my god, didn't you say that you saw that like if a family of 4 makes $100,000, they're considered low income in San Francisco?
It's like $130,000. Below that, you're considered low income in San Francisco.
That is fucked up.
Yeah, a family of fucking 4. Like, that's a lot.
I can't believe that. Like, I never want to live in San Francisco.
I could not afford that. I can't afford a lot of California. I'm sure there's some places. But yeah, no.
It's hard enough to afford Seattle.
Fuck, I can't afford Seattle. Like, remember when we were living here and someone was like, if you can't, because we were living in that box, and they're like, if you can't afford to live here, then like, why are you here? And I'm like, but I have a box. Bitch, I got a toilet. It's all good. We're living.
So anyway, our sci-fi future. What do I see that as? I see it as
a lot of AI.
The rise of the smart devices taking over all of the menial. I see us as fucking WALL-E. Like, I literally see
How
us like,
far are we talking in the future?
Earth is dead. We're on a fucking ship in space, and the robots are doing everything for us, and we forget how to do basic functions.
I mean, with what Donald Trump's pulling off right now, I definitely think not being on Earth is a factor. That could happen.
I picture
maybe I'll be in Saturn's moon ocean.
Like Interstellar, that plot where it's like we gotta try and find a place where we can continue humanity. Like that shit's gonna happen.
I think that's
future.
Fucked up. Okay. I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't like that at all either. The corn was dying in that one.
Oh, God. I just hate the idea of, we fucked up Earth, so now we're gonna find a new planet to ultimately fuck up. Like, that new planet doesn't deserve us.
No.
They don't deserve, like...
If we destroy this planet, we deserve to go with it.
Yeah, well, I'm like that guy in Titanic at the end. I'm going down with this ship. I will be standing in the last little patch of the ocean with all the bleached corals surrounding me.
That's how humanity needs to go. The last bit of ocean drying up with all the bleached coral.
And it's sad, but, you know, I don't think we should infect any other planets, to be honest with you.
We are a plague.
You know, it's okay.
Alright, but anything else about the future that you see sci-fi?
Like I said, I really do think AI is going to be a factor. I feel like we already trust it so much. Like, my phone... If you think about what your phone knows, my phone has my entire ovaries down. Like, it knows exactly what's happening there. It knows where I am, how I'm walking, who I'm talking to, what I'm thinking, how many languages I'm learning. You know,
I think
there's
just going to be like an overwhelming... There already is an overwhelming amount of just data on a personal level about each and every one of us that is just out there. And I feel like there's going to be something big that happens in that regard, like whether it's like a huge...
The AI boom of 2020.
You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know.
Somebody's gonna steal something more than they already have. Like there's gonna be like fighting over like information, and like it's just...
It already is like that. Like people are literally like, your information on your, you know, internet browser is literally up for so much money.
Yeah.
Did you see what happened with YouTube and the one, you know, the network Studio 71?
Yes.
So, literally, they got into this hacker group called, like, I forget what they're called, honestly. And you know what? I'm not going to give them a shout out anyway. They hacked, like, the president of that network. Okay. And that was able to, or, like, the account that owns, like, the whole network or whatever. Yeah, and they were able to get into every creator under that network. And so, first, they just, like... changed everybody's YouTube titles on all their videos and their thumbnails to, like, their shit, basically. And so that was just, like, a pain in the ass for people to, like, have to change back. But then, like, a week later, they started sending, like, threatening emails to the people being like, here's all the information that we have on you. And it was, like, personal shit, like, important stuff. And, like, basically you have to, like, pay them to, like, get access to your information back and, like, all this shit. And I don't know what's going on, but I'm glad I'm not part of that one.
That's the future.
But I feel like shit like that's going to be happening more and more. You know, like, people's information just being, like, up for bidding. Like, we're going to have that instead of, like, whatever they bid on now. What, chairs?
On a positive side, we'll
have more medicine.
I think that we will see a point when we no longer use fossil fuels.
I hope so.
I think that because just, like, in the economy now, and the businesses and stuff that are being... Like, we have to chase where the fucking money is. We can't do it because of goddamn, like, morals or anything. But now the industry is there for, like, solar and wind and geothermal and all those different types of energies. Yeah. So now that industry is there and there's money in it, and from what I've seen, that industry has, like, grown to, like, the same size as, like, coal and oil. So, like, I definitely see us being at a point where we're all on green electric energy in the future. The cars, houses, everything like that. I mean, I think it was the UK, I think, just had their first day of no coal power in 153 years.
That's cool.
It was 24 hours without using any coal
and
power.
Everyone lived? Like,
yeah.
It's cool.
Exactly. It's... moments like that I see we're going in the right path. Whether it's fast enough, we'll find out.
I would also say that the future is going to have, more compelling, research on different things that can help with, like, mental health. I feel like that's going to happen, too.
Because with all of this information that we now have access to and can track and everything like that, it's just like this information is just waiting to be studied.
Yeah.
So I think that we'll find out a lot of cool things about humans in the coming years, and the
aliens are going to know a lot.
I personally think we could maybe see the cure to cancer within our lifetimes, just because the way that technology, like, exponentially grows into the future. Like, by the time that we hit retirement, like,
I would hope so.
The world is going to look so incredibly different because technology grows at an exponential rate. Yeah. So I think it'll be fucking wild.
I mean, just think about, like, how much technology has grown in the fucking 25 years that we've been here.
Yeah.
It's, like, literally so drastically different. And that's, like, it's going so fast now.
We've been through the rise of, like, we were just getting into VHS when we were born. Like, VHS was just coming around. And then you moved into CDs and DVDs, and then...
It was just
Blu-ray
MP3 players
and MP3s, and now it's, like, literally everything's digital download.
Streaming.
Like,
Streaming, and, like, music is streaming now. You don't really buy albums unless you're going to buy them on an app.
The death of physical media. Like that. I mean, I still like a good physical book, but otherwise...
It's true.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, if you think about just, like, the way movies are even filmed now, and, like, what image capabilities we're at with the way video games look, and these are all, like, minor things, like the car technology. Like, we've literally seen the whole driverless car thing
that's
happen.
Gonna be by, like, 2020, honestly. Like, we're gonna have driverless cars.
I'm gonna be nervous. I'm already nervous when I have you in the car driving, and I know you're an excellent driver, so, like, I don't know if I trust...
Why I want them to be definitely worked on a lot more, but I would be way more comfortable if we are at a point where every car on the road was a driverless car, because then they could all talk to each other.
And then they're all like, stop!
Yeah. Like, a driverless car does not have, like, humans being dumb with them, like, texting and shit. So, like, I think if we're all at a point where, like, the majority of the cars on the road are driverless, it would be honestly safer.
It would be really great if people would also stop fucking being on their phones while driving.
When I'm walking home from
work. If
I
fucking die for your Snapchat, I'm gonna haunt your ass.
Your stupid fucking Pokemon.
I will be that Snapchat ghost, and I will be up your ass every day telling you look like shit while you're driving. That's just... It's so fucking stupid. Like, no one gives a shit about your lip singing in the goddamn car. Everyone is skipping past that anyway, so don't kill someone over it.
Yeah.
I get very mad about this. I don't drive. I'm not going to take anyone's life via vehicle.
No,
so
my
you
phone
shouldn't
stays
either.
In my goddamn pocket unless it's, like, out with just on the side with the GPS on.
And she is yelling,
Yeah, she's got the voice
so
on.
God, that bugs me so much. When I'm on Snapchat and I see someone doing that while they're driving windows, I don't care how slow LA traffic is, by the way. We get it. But guess what? How many accidents happen on your I-7? I don't know what. You know, like, they all have, like, the highways that they talk about a lot. I don't know what they are, but there's always accidents happening. And why is that happening? Because you're all fucking Snapchatting your goddamn unicorn frap because you couldn't wait until you were parked. I don't care.
Ooh, fucking go.
I get heated about it. I think it's bullshit, and there's more and more of it every day, and it's so frustrating to see. Like, nothing is important. Literally, nothing. Time doesn't mean anything.
When I'm walking home from work, I see people that are sitting in the rush hour traffic that are on their phones, and that
like the red light is already like a risk, because then you're like looking at your phone and then you don't realize it goes green and everyone's annoyed at you. Yeah. You look stupid every fucking time.
The radio exists. A podcast exists.
Listen to Coffee with Christ.
Audiobooks exist.
So relaxing, isn't it?
Like, I think I use driving as a time to like get the fuck off of my phone. Not that I really drive that much anymore, but like I'm off of my phone and I'm listening to like music just to like relax, or listening to a book. Can you
imagine me driving? I'd have to be like in complete silence. Like the only thing happening is like piano music, very soft.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Speaking of piano music,
it has nothing to do with pianos.
It has nothing to do with pianos, but it's music, and it's nice like that.
So our summer's looking pretty lit,
yes.
Basically.
First of all, we're going to Jason Mraz.
In June.
And
now July, we're seeing the Seattle Symphony because they're doing the orchestral score to Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
Yeah.
So we're excited.
I didn't know it was going to be like this, but it's literally like they show the movie, and then instead of the soundtrack being there, they're just playing it live.
So lit.
I love that so much.
So excited.
I'm so excited. Like, I love this score. That's like the number one thing.
Is that your favorite movie score? Because it's got the originals, you know?
Yeah.
The Hedwig's theme, if you will.
I'm
going to be so
I like the score from the first one as well as 5 and 6.
Yeah, you love those little, like, the bridge of the Harry Potter score, would you say?
Yes. But I love, like, score in general.
I know. He loves musical soundtracks and everything.
Yeah.
So this will be great, because this is Chris's first orchestra or symphony that he's seeing live. So
I want to get more into seeing shit live, honestly.
You're finally getting into music. It's crazy. I'm so glad. Because music is such a huge part of my life, and it makes me happy that
I can't play it. Trombone. Rip. Trombone.
Actually, I did.
Trombro.
Ew. Leave him. Today was the 5-year anniversary of when you told me the story of your short arms. So let us all take a moment. Think about that. I also did notice that it took you, like, literally 2 years or, like, a year and a half of our relationship to fucking tell us.
You know, the process to be able to accept my faults was long.
Yeah, it was. Like, I told you my deepest, darkest secrets, like, right off the gate.
I wasn't confronted with this until I was with somebody who was so musically inclined, and then I was like, oh, man,
I still think you would be great at piano because you're analytical and, like,
I want to learn piano.
If this bitch can read music, you can read music. Like, a lot of music is math, and that's the part where I suck. I rely a lot more on, like, my pitch, hearing ability. But I also can read music. You suck at pitch, but you could read music. That's
one of the skills that I want to learn in my life is reading music in general, but like being able to play piano, because if I had to pick an instrument, it would not be trombone. It would be that. It would be the piano, because I think it's beautiful.
I already play guitar, and I can play piano. Like, I can read music, but it's not very good. I mostly do, like, chords and stuff.
Yeah.
But if I had to choose another instrument that I would be good at, I would say violin. I want to be that bitch.
Oh, I would like...
I've always wanted to, but
I love the violin, too.
I couldn't... So I had to, like... You know how you pick, like, band or choir or orchestra when you're, like, young?
Yeah.
I chose choir because I like to sing, but I really wanted to do violin, but it was too expensive because the violins are so fucking expensive. So now, whenever she's bougie enough, maybe that'll be something I do.
That would be
I have so many things that I want to do. It's okay.
Yeah, well, you know, we got years.
We got time.
Unless the earth burns and we're gone.
Or someone kills me while they're Snapchatting.
Okay, so we came full fucking circle on that. We did mention before that there were some other things that were coming up on Netflix.
Yeah,
Netflix. So we're sponsored. Just kidding.
Oh my god, no.
But
so basically, all of their originals are coming back in May. Like Master of None, House of Cards, Sense8, Kimmy Schmidt, something else.
Then there's a lot of other like documentaries and shit that are really cool that are coming out.
Yeah, there's one about like the real tea on gluten, and I'm ready. I want to know more because I feel like a lot of the gluten-free stuff, unless you actually have like a legitimate allergy, I feel like a lot of it is just bullshit marketing to make money. Yes. So I'm interested to see what it is. You know,
exactly. It's like the low fat.
Yeah,
how that started.
The low carb. I mean, it is basically low carb.
But it's not like just because something is labeled as low fat
or non-GMO.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's low fat, it's usually high sugar. And if it's low sugar, it's usually high fat or high carcinogens.
Yes.
You know, it's not good.
The only thing good was getting rid of trans fats. Because I don't know that those were like the ones that were really terrible.
I don't know, man. I have no idea. All I know is a lipid, and here she is.
But all of those Netflix series, highly recommend, especially Sense8. It's weird, but it's good.
It's so beautifully just, you watch and you're like in awe at the beauty of it all, but you're also confused, but you're also in wonder. You're laughing, you're crying, you're cringing. It's cinematic as fuck.
If you want a show that handles sex and sexual orientation and identity like naturally without it being like, hey, by the way, this person's trans, like, or something like that, you know.
Yeah.
It does it naturally, and it's very nice to see.
It's so diverse. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, diverse is the best word. It is really diverse.
Like, the Christmas episode that they did was just the most gorgeous fucking, like, 2 hours of television I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, it was beautiful.
There is one scene with a lot of birthing happening, and wow, I was upset by that one.
I think I blocked it out, honestly. I forget that happened. Yeah. So much happened.
But otherwise, great show. House of Cards is probably, I think they might have just recorded like television of the current political climate and probably just gonna air that.
God, like what is it going to cover?
Because that's literally like they could do that. And
I'm so ready. We need to watch the last season because I don't remember what happened. I just remember Claire. That's all I care about is Claire.
And Masters of None. I mean,
that's gonna be great. You know, it'll be hilarious and
miss
poignant.
Our Parks and Rec.
Yeah, I know. And like Kimmy Schmidt is the one that I always don't think I'm gonna care as much about, and then I watch it and I'm like, that was great.
It's just fun.
It's just good, clean fun. Though last season they talked a lot about PTSD, which I was like shook and very impressed by the handling of that. Mm-hmm. And I also like seeing John Hamm play something I've never seen before.
I just like seeing John Hamm.
Me fucking too. Oh man, that man. He's like the man that's like, oh, that's why I'm bi. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like men as a whole are usually so fucking annoying and lackluster, and you know this. But like, it's like you and John Hamm. She brings me back to center, you know?
And then January Jones steps on the scene
and then it's all out the window again. Oh, and Mark Ruffalo. I can't help it. Have you seen him in the leather jacket? Come on.
Yeah.
You've seen him.
He's something. So let's do this quiz that we have.
We hadn't done a quiz in a while, and you know, it's time.
Taking a trip back to you old BuzzFeed.
Our problematic fave. So this was, how normal are you at a restaurant, basically? And I want to know. I just want to know.
You fucked up that title, but then you rolled with it.
That's kind of my brand. Okay.
And I call you out.
Yeah. So the first question is, how often do you eat at a restaurant? A few times a year or less, a few times a month, once a week, 2 to 4 times per week, or 5 or more times per week?
I'm going to say a few times a month.
Yeah, I if it was takeout, it'd be a lot better. Oh, we're in the majority there at the top.
Wow, my phone just really does not want to load. Okay, there it is.
When is your preferred time to eat at a restaurant? Breakfast, lunch, or dinner?
I'm going to say
breakfast.
It would have been dinner, but now it's going to be breakfast.
It's breakfast. Fuck dinner.
Wow, 5% breakfast. Come on, guys.
What the fuck? Who doesn't like breakfast?
I mean, if they had brunch, then I would have put that, because that's my favorite.
To be honest, I like to pick a brunch time. Like, 11?
Yeah, perfect.
Anything earlier than that is like chill, you know? Like, no one needs to be there.
Would you rather sit in a booth or on a chair?
It's a vibe, you know what I mean?
If I'm like in a diner, obviously, I want the
booth.
Yeah.
I want it to have cracks in the vinyl.
Yeah.
I want it to be lived in.
Exactly.
I want to live and die in that booth.
If I am at a restaurant where my meal costs $20 or more,
no booth.
I want the chair.
If I'm with a group of people, I want
the chair.
A table. But if I'm with just me and my purse, a booth.
I'm going to go with chair.
I'm going to go with chair. I'm sorry, I'm so boring. Wow, everyone loves the booth. Okay, Applebee's. Would you rather sit inside or outside?
Inside. Fuck that. I'm saying inside because, listen,
me too.
There is an allure to a nice sunny day. What is the term for sitting outside eating?
Al dente. No, just kidding. Al fresco? Al fresno?
Something like that. We're going to Fresno, guys.
It's definitely al fresco, I think. I don't know. Ziti.
Anyway,
Tortellini al forno.
Like, you can sit outside on a nice sunny day, but
in Seattle we don't have
if
those.
there's bugs, maybe it's gonna rain in the middle of your meal.
There's people that honestly, if you're in a city, there's people that come up to you and you can't leave because you're at a table.
The sun moves and suddenly your arm is on fire. Like, there's lots of aspects.
Allergies.
The wind builds up.
I like sitting outside, though. Like, it depends on the vibe. Like, if it's a nice day and you're eating a nice water ice, fuck yeah.
But we've all been there. Like, there's going to be a storm that comes in halfway through your meal. It starts getting windy. Everybody's napkins are going everywhere. Like,
Chris is the devil on my shoulder.
Yeah.
I would say.
I am. I really am. Do you usually order the same thing or get something different every time?
It depends. If it's a new place...
Well, no shit. If it's new, you're getting something new.
Okay.
I get the same thing every time. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, that's not true for me. I feel like I have an array of options, but also there's some places that I have tried and true. Like the ramen place, I only get the same thing each time. But at the brunch place, I get multiple different types of things.
I've been trying to explore more options, but usually I would look at the menu, find the one thing I think I would like the most.
With the best price.
I usually like it, and then I don't order anything else.
All right.
That was the majority, by the way.
Do you consider the price when picking what you want? Yes.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
Like, especially when other people are paying. Like, oh my god, if it's your birthday and then people are like, we're all going to split it, I get the cheapest thing. Like, I don't want to, it's just a mess. I feel like I never pay for it. I don't get drinks out.
You never pay for your meals?
I don't get a drink out with my meal usually either, unless it's like, it calls for it, like if it's fish.
If I get a coffee afterwards,
when have I gotten
rare.
fish?
Do you try and pick something healthy?
It depends. I'm not
gonna say
more
I don't
often.
actively pick this just because it's healthy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But usually now we're eating like at fucking vegan places that are inherently
unless you're at
healthy.
Wayward.
Yeah, unless you're at Wayward.
Have you ever eaten at a restaurant alone? Yeah. Many times, never. No, but I would. I would say many times.
Sure.
But like many times, I mean like
a few. But that's
when I get a sandwich and a coffee and I'm reading my book.
Yeah, that was 27% the lowest. Rude.
Oh, okay.
Do you wait until everyone's order has come out before you start eating your meal?
Yes.
Yes,
I'm
always.
Sweating every time. Everyone's always
care
like,
if
no,
it's
go
frozen.
ahead, you can eat. I'm like, no, bitch. I will not taste a single leaf on this salad.
Because then it's like if their meal takes a long time to get out, then like you're done and then you're waiting. And
but then your meal gets cold, so hopefully it's not something. But either way, everyone's tense.
I would live with my meal being cold if it made other people more comfortable.
That is the way I live my fucking life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for.
Do you research restaurants before going to them for the first time?
Absolutely.
That's my anxiety.
I am Mr. Yelp.
He is. He was coined that term by Yelp Corporation.
Mr. Worldwide, Mr. Yelp-wide.
Okay, 205. Actually, 206.
That's wrong.
Wow. Do you prefer restaurants that are dark or well lit? It depends.
It's a toss-up. It's a vibe.
What's a well-lit restaurant, honestly? I can't think of one.
I would consider a diner to be well lit.
And not the diners I've been to.
What are you talking about? The Columbia Diner in Lancaster that we ate at all the time?
Okay, that was well lit, but have you ever been to other ones that I have?
Oh, yeah? Wow, that was a very specific example.
I'm going to say I prefer a dark restaurant. I love the ambiance of a nice candle next to a fake rose.
Yeah, I'm going with the dark, and that was 40%.
I want the butter and the bread basket situation to be flickering in the soft golden amber light. That's what I want. Okay?
If you're out for a birthday, do you sing happy birthday at the restaurant?
No!
No? How embarrassing. Yes, every time. Yes, as long as it isn't my birthday.
No, but I will sing it if it's my friend's birthday, but I'm hating everyone that made them sing. And if you sing at my birthday, I'm not your friend anymore. Like, nothing is more uncomfortable than oh my God, like, in drama class in high school, they would say every time we would go to those New York trips to go see a Broadway show, we would go to the Stardust Diner, LOL. If you're a musical theater binge, you've probably been there, you know? And they would say it was our teacher's birthday every time, and it was the worst. It was just like the most socially anxious I ever felt. You'd be at Bubba Gump's, and they'd make you do it. Hello, Yason, I know you. Did you ever sing Happy Birthday at Bubba Gump's, Yason? I bet you fucking did.
The most people said no at 41%. What is most important to you when eating out? Fast service, amazing food, reasonable prices.
Amazing food.
Yeah, I'm here for the fucking food.
The service is something that, like, I get that there's bumps. It has to be really bad for me to be that affected by it. Like, you have to fuck up consistently.
Yeah, we are the people that are very easily pleased and do not want to bring up anything.
Yeah. If you go for dinner, do you get dessert? Every time, only if I feel like it, never.
Never.
I'm gonna literally say never, but to be honest, it's like very special occasion because usually I'm full as fuck, and if I'm gonna choose, like, I only get an entree usually, okay? Let's be honest.
Appetizer, who is she?
Well, it's like, if you're gonna be bougie and get something like that, it's either... I'm gonna choose appetizer because savory for myself. I'd rather have an appetizer with my meal than a dessert. Definitely would rather have an appetizer over like an alcoholic beverage.
Savory more than sweet.
Well, yeah. And if I get a dessert, I have to share it because otherwise it just, it's wrong.
I'm here for the dessert more than the appetizer, but I'm also, but I like a nice finger food, you know?
A finger food. Like, what's your favorite finger food?
Well, they're all not available to me, and
I just need to know.
If I had to pick one that was plant-based, it would be
like cauliflower wings.
Yeah, cauliflower wings, absolutely.
Ooh, or like I love a nice hummus platter.
Honestly, a good crudité is fantastic.
Now, if we're going non-vegan, I would say potato skins.
Oh no! Why'd you do this to me? Can you make a vegan version of that?
I'm sure you can. You just have to use fake cheese.
Yeah.
And they have vegan sour cream. You could honestly fuck that up, I'm sure. Speaking of potatoes, so you know how we talked about our waffle iron last episode? So it is...
the greatest addition to our lives.
Best $17 we ever
child,
split.
Honestly.
Honestly. You know Sandy Cohen with his bagel slicer? It's us with the waffle maker.
When the show
Wait a minute, isn't that what they tried to do on Gossip Girl? With, what's his face? Rufus? Wasn't he the waffle maker bitch?
Yeah.
Yeah,
When this show ends, we're gonna have... we can't show us packing away a waffle iron.
Maybe we can for the Patreons. But anyway, we put some shredded potato in it with a little onion powder and salt and pepper and garlic powder. Put that in your waffle maker, and holy shit, you have a nice potato basket that you get to eat. It's like a giant hash brown. It was incredible. Fabulous vegan dish.
Yes.
Our vegan dishes lately have been potato waffle, regular waffle, burrito.
Listen, for like the next month, our weekend breakfast is going to be waffles every time.
I know, like a little strawberry compote on that.
Ooh.
I want to make zucchini fritters in there. Hot for food. They took for Thanksgiving. They literally take the mashed potatoes, put it in their waffle maker, and then they just put like all of the other like Thanksgiving fixings on top. And I'm like, that sounds absolutely wonderful and a great way to incorporate your Thanksgiving leftovers.
I can't wait again for Thanksgiving food.
I'm so ready for that heaviness.
Ooh,
all right, so let's get to some questions here, okay?
But first, a word from our sponsor. So it's Monday, and if you guys needed a reward for your hashtag Motivation Monday...
Okay, all of brands on Twitter.
Yeah, literally every brand. You could reward yourself with a nice treat from adamandeve.com.
Wow, who's shocked? So adamandeve.com is a sex toy and lingerie website that we know very well on this podcast. And if you use code CWC at checkout, you will get 50% off just about any item.
In addition to that discount, you also get 3 free adult DVDs, a free mystery gift. Ooh, the secrecy.
And free shipping. So whoa.
Ooh, jinx. So go to adamandeve.com and use code CWC to get that offer.
And get off.
All right, so let's do some Patreon questions first from patreon.com/CoffeeWithChrachel, the lovely people who support this show. First one is from Jennifer, who said, okay, controversial question here. Do you like LaCroix? That's how we were saying it.
I thought it was like French, but then you go to their website, they're like, no, we're just white.
Just because you're using Duolingo doesn't mean that everything is in French now.
Listen, it literally looks like French. Are you kidding me?
I know.
But they're like, no, we're just making it up.
This is anglicized or whatever the fuck it is.
This is LaCroix.
I like
I'll be honest, I love it.
It's really good, and it's honestly like
when you want to drink water, but you don't.
Water plus is what I call it.
And it's better than like those shitty ones where you put the drops in. It's like the carbonation. If you need to relieve gas, it's a great bev.
Honestly, I don't care what kind of reputation it gives me. It's a fantastic drink, and I'll be over here enjoying my LaCroix while anybody is over there making fun of me.
First of all, what's your favorite flavor? Mine is pamplemousse, of course.
Pamplemousse. I mean, I've liked that one the most so far out of all the ones we've tried.
The grapefruit, if you didn't know. And also the apricot one.
The lime and lemon were not that good.
Nah. It tastes like pine sol.
And peach pear was also very good.
Listen, I think that's what I meant, honestly. I don't know if
there was apricot and then there's peach pear.
Whatever. I haven't had all of them. But I must say, the most embarrassing thing that has ever fucking happened in this home was when Chris was in a desperate frenzy for some LaCroix, okay? So he Postmated, like, you asked for grapefruit LaCroix, and I think it was like we needed an ingredient for something, you know, like.
So it wasn't like just me being desperate for this. It was like, oh, I need these ingredients for a meal, but also just pick up some LaCroix on the way.
Yeah. So the dude comes with 1 can of LaCroix. And
Because,
the rest of the order was like it got canceled or like they didn't have stuff.
Yeah.
So he just had to come over with, and he only got us 1 can and not like the actual pack. And it was the most embarrassing exchange. I evaporated. Like, he thought that that's the kind of people we were.
Yeah.
And it made me want to die, and I hope that you never get that person as our postmate again.
To that postmate out there in the world.
If you're listening to this...
Don't judge me.
I'm so sorry.
All right. Next question is from Chantel, who said, "Hi, Chris."
What's your name?
"Hi, Chris and Rachel. I just wrote the last exam of my undergrad degree.
Ooh.
Did you guys do anything special to celebrate finishing college? Well, congratulations.
Woohoo. Round of applause.
Achievement."
I do believe we ordered a lot of sushi. I remember that.
A lot of sushi.
I was very stoned. We had a lot of sushi.
And then we moved.
She went
was literally like a month after, I think it was 1 month exactly after we graduated, we were in Seattle.
We were on that plane with Squeezy.
That was our celebration. We saved all of our money for that, so we didn't do anything crazy besides get sushi.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was great. It was great.
Yeah, it was nice and
I would not regret it at all. Mm-hmm. Next question here is from my girl Kendall Ray on YouTube. I didn't know you listened to this.
Hey.
This is, did the challenges you have gone through in the past couple of years make you a stronger / wiser person? I mean, I would hope so. I don't know about wiser.
That's like...
Hopefully.
That's kind of like, hopefully the point of having these things that happen in your life, these like really hard
decisions. Look at them as life challenges and lessons.
You gotta learn from them.
Learn from this. I did, let me tell you.
Oh, absolutely. If I look at where I was like 5 years, 10 years ago, like...
And
absolutely.
It makes every positive thing that I get that much more amazing. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, every time I think about where I was, like, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and where I am now, and even though there's still a lot going on, and mental health might not be the best, TM, I still feel like every time something good happens to one of us, like, it's just that much more celebrated, because I feel like we earned some of the good things, because we've had some bad luck and some bad situations, I would say.
That's why, like, anytime you're having a rough patch in your life, something bad is happening or whatever,
it takes is like a new week. You have no fucking idea.
Like, those situations, they're gonna be terrible or bad in that moment, but when you're out of that, it helps you appreciate the good moments even more. Mm-hmm. And, you can take, say, like, this bad situation occurred because of something that you had done. It was not something intentional or whatever. You learned from that, and that's how we learn the choices in our life, and how, like, to be a human basically is trial and error. Mm-hmm. You make mistakes, you learn from it, and you move on. That's the most that you can do in a situation where
if you're not changing, what are you doing?
If you've made a mistake, you can, apologize for that mistake, do what you can to reverse whatever has happened and learn from that moment.
Yeah. And if you're in a bad situation, just know that everything is so fucking temporary. Like, literally, my life changed in, like, the matter of, like, a week. You know what I mean? Like, just things happen, like, all the time that you don't expect.
Just to
and
think
there can
about
be good things.
The fact that, like, in June, we're going to be coming up on 3 years in Seattle. That's 3 years. When you look at that in terms of, like, a life, that is such a small amount of time.
I know.
But
so much has changed.
The person I came to Seattle as is nothing like the person I am now.
Same. I don't even look the same. I'm totally gone. I shed my skin. I shed my PA husk. And here she is. I'm a Pacific Northwest husk now.
The beautiful corn cob has come out of the husk.
Yeah, I'm just one of those fresh, sweet, like kernels.
That was gross.
Yeah, I know it was.
Okay, next one is, I feel like you guys have a lot in common. Almost everything you talk about on the show we agree upon, and that's great.
It's kind of true.
But I'm curious to know, what are the differences in opinions that we have? What do we disagree on?
So, I'm not gonna lie, Chris had to ask me that question before we recorded because it genuinely stumped us. We had to really think about this. Unfortunately, we don't have anything, like, huge. Like, political views, like, human decency views. Like
how to act as a human view kind of thing.
All the big things that are very important to both of us, we end up agreeing on, which I think works to our benefit.
And everything like that.
It just works. A lot of the stuff that we disagree on is very stupid.
Like, I might not like a movie that Rachel does.
Okay, for example, Never Let Me Go. It's a sci-fi, dystopian... I don't understand why you don't like it.
I need to give it another shot. I don't know when we watched it the first time.
It was in college, and he was like, no.
Let's give it another shot now.
Okay. I'm telling you, you'll like it.
I don't know if I have an example on... Oh, you don't like Super Smash Brothers.
Fuck that game. It's too stressful.
I love it.
I don't like it.
I think it's a fantastic
get annoyed
game.
Playing it. It's not even fun. I get that I would have to just practice to be better, but I don't even want to be better. I just want to be done.
Yeah.
Get me Mario Kart if we're going to do that kind of thing.
So
if it's that kind of hang.
It's things like that.
We were like, what's something that we disagree on that's, like, not media?
Yeah.
And we couldn't think of anything. I don't know. Like, I guess, like, some people would be like, oh, well, you don't challenge each other. And I'm not going to lie. Like, well, you challenge me in ways that are not necessarily, like, disagreements. Like,
I wouldn't say that, like, you don't need to be disagreeing with somebody, combative to
it depends
grow,
on who you are.
You know what I mean?
I am not one of those. I mean, I like debate in a school setting.
Oh, absolutely.
I like political debate. I like scientific debate or whatever.
Seeing an issue and talking about both sides and, like, figuring out the resolution.
Not in my home. Like, yeah. I grew up for, like, 20 fucking years of just straight argument and 3 people who thought everything I believed was so wrong and shameful. I don't need that anymore in my current relationships. But, like, some people love, like, the thrill of, like, debate with their partner. And, like, that's not what gets me off, and I won't. The only thing I want to argue with you about is, like, the fact that you still don't really like mustard, even though you know it enhances the flavor.
But this is a food preference, it's not an opinion!
But it's, like, it's wrong. It's so, like, I get it. It's subjective. Everyone has a different taste bud. But holy shit, you have to admit that adding a nice tangy mustard to certain things enhances the overall presence.
Listen, it's not that I am repulsed by mustard. It's just I'm not actively going out of my way to add it into my food.
Like,
but if it's there,
a soft pretzel.
I would go. I don't know what I'm going to do now. I went for the cheese.
What are you going to do? Dip it in ketchup? What are you?
I did the cheese before. I don't know what I'm going to do now. I haven't had a soft pretzel.
Okay, soft pretzel with mustard over soft pretzel with cheese. Sorry. Also, peanut butter being his favorite nut butter. Fuck that. I think it's wrong.
What? Why?
Almond butter's better. Has a better, milder flavor.
Kidding?
It works with more things.
Are you kidding?
Peanut butter's too strong. She's too strong.
All right, well, thank you. Now we're going to have our... I'm just kidding.
No. Also, we both suck at making pancakes, so we don't even disagree there.
Our opinion is we suck.
Is there anything else that we can think of that we disagree on? Oh, man. This is probably telling to so many different things. Like, I think, like, it would be infuriating for me if, like, you had a different taste in, like, aesthetics, you know, with our house and everything. Like, I'm lucky that you would agree with me on that. I know we've talked about that before. But, man, will that make our lives easier? I don't want to be I'm a vintage charmer and he's a modern industrial. You know, like, fuck that.
Listen, I know it sounds stupid because it's, like, this is a material thing. This is, like, not about the person, but it's just about, like, material shit. But like I think that the house style that you want to have is incredibly...
You want harmony.
It's
you
incredibly
want both
important.
elements.
This is going to be hopefully the house that you are living your entire life with this person in. And so don't you want your home, your place that you live, to be something that you want it to look like?
Like, for example, I really do love ornate homes. I like wood panels that are white. I like really nice fireplaces. I like crown molding. I love all of that. All of those types of aesthetics. But at the end of the day, I also really like a minimal, clean... I love industrial apartments. Like, our apartment right now is not very industrial at all. I mean, we have black countertops. Maybe that's about it.
It's not industrial.
Like, I think my ideal, though, it's like I either go for, like, the Scandinavian vibe, or I go for, like, the super industrial vibe of, like, a log cabin, but, like, with black beams and black hardware.
That's my number one choice, is the, like, industrial cabin.
I have 3 vibes. The Scandinavian, the industrial, and then the, like, white, minimal, glossy, but with concrete elements.
And brick walls.
Yeah.
See, there's lots...
But then there's a white brick, but then there's also a red brick, like a classic.
There is, like, the Boston home vibe, you know what I mean?
Boston?
Like, no, just, like, every time you watch an episode of House Hunters in Boston, it's like, hey, we've got...
Oh, yeah, and Chicago,
yeah.
They got some good homes there.
See, there's lots of vibes. I can jive with all of them.
Yeah. Listen, that's great.
All right, well, I'm ready to wrap up and watch some more Bill Nye.
Yeah, me too. Well, thanks, guys, for listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Coffee with Crachel.
I hope my predictions of the future are not too bleak.
Yeah.
But we'll find out maybe on Coffee with Crachel episode 3724. We'll find out.
I need to die.
I don't know when that'll be, but...
I don't like it. All right, we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, binches. So we've done colors before for different things, but we're going to settle it now. This is your Pantone shade.
Official Pantone shade coming at you.
Maybe there'll be shades of the year at some point.
Yeah. All right, so Nicole Dowling is Mauve Shadow.
Emily Sweeney is Sweet Lavender.
Melanie Weldon is Deep Well.
Alex Capraro is Captain's Blue.
Kim Boyver is Little Boy Blue.
Shannon Shires is Sunshine.
Alicia McKee is Florida Keys.
Kimberly Proza is Provincial Blue.
Sarah Booth is Bambooth.
Kate Convery is Confetti.
Taylor Collins is Bachelor Button. Benjamin? Who is it?
Emma Corbeil is Cornhusk.
Sloan Fuller is Antler.
Angelica Feliz is Sea Angel.
Megan Burrell is Silver Birch.
Kim Greeley is Green Ash.
Jason Gonzalez is Tarragon.
Lindsay Torlina is Tornado.
Jess Adams is Madder Brown.
Liv Maltby is Minimal Gray.
Me. Megan Oxley is Ganache.
Daisy Blossom Dottie is
Assel Blossom.
Assel Blossom. Daisy Blossom Dottie is Apple Blossom.
Valerie Molina is Semolina.
Kennedy Rochelle is Scallop Shell.
M. Samek is Simply Taupe.
Rebecca Edmondson is Crimson.
Taryn Parker is Sparkling Grape.
Alana Barbosa is Baroque Rose.
Lutzi is Scooter.
Megan Ashley is Lilac Ash.
Cody Castillo is Overcast.
Bailey Lynn is Flint.
Emily Tormey is Violet Stormy.
Sonia Vaz-Brun is Bruschetta.
Sabrina Hughes is Sable.
Fiona is Coffee Liqueur.
Stephanie Oliver is Tawny Olive.
Juanita Cara is Pink Carnation.
Annie Wynn is Wind Chime.
Cassandra Lee is Evening Sand.
Emma Nygren is Grenadine.
Courtney Hall is Allure.
Becca Jansen is Seneca Rock.
Angela Sue is Tangelo.
Michelle North is North Atlantic.
Erin Bray is Brazilian Sand.
Jada Goshi is Jade Cream.
Mai Elizabeth is Delicacy.
Ishbel Mendez is Parchment.
Talia Miller is Vermilion Orange.
Margarita is Lilac Marble.
Avery Labelson is Portobello.
Anthony Hood is Pink Dogwood.
Mariah Hanna is Phantom.
Liz Hallbrook is Brook Green.
Jennifer Habgood is habanero gold.
Madison Greer is asparagus green.
Madison Wolfe is Timberwolf.
Megan McNally is autumnal.
Megan Preyes is surf spray.
Corey Springfield is spring bouquet.
Ilka is coconut milk.
Jack Sedora Who is tandoori spice.
Nicole Allen is charcoal gray.
Courtney White is white pepper.
Bridget Carey Davis is carrot curl.
Me. Jennifer Cornwell is cornflower blue.
Sophia Cock is pink peacock.
Ash Roselle is primrose pink.
Jackie, Jackie Burkhart is purple heart.
Beth Fonseca is fondue fudge.
Ian Murphy is murmur.
I hate it. Kendall Berg is cyber yellow.
Cyber yellow, the cyber police.
Stop it.
Megan Gurley is paisley purple.
Chloe Ireland is Iceland poppy.
Taco Roach is roasted pecan.
Haley Cadwallader is castle wall.
Camellia Malky is camel.
Maddie Pullman is English manor.
Amanda Pete is beetle.
Caitlin Whalen is marlin.
Cody Robinson is poison green.
Lauren Chavone is riverside.
Dana Daly is quail.
Claire Wood is wood thrush.
Anna Hernandez is banana cream.
Sarah is scarab.
Lynn and Drew are dress blues.
Hillary Gay is chinchilla.
Mackenzie Knight is nightshade.
And Rachel Evans is medieval blue.
Alright, and the other binge bonches.
They're the color of the year, which is like that green shade that I just love.
Yeah.
I don't know what she's called, but she's here.
Allison Francois.
Ashley Riefenberger.
Joanna Jensen.
Mallory.
Allie Malone.
Kathleen Wynn.
And Rose Barnett.
So thanks, guys. Go look up your color. Tell us if you vibe with it. I would love to know.
Yeah.
And also, what color are we? We should figure that out.
Oh, shit. Whoa, what if we added ourselves in?
Oh,
Whoa.
I don't want to do
No.
that. More work for us. Okay, so we love you guys. We hope you enjoyed the rest of your week, and we'll see you on Thursday.
Bye.
Bye.